Hi, my name is Belinda and I'm the training lady, and today I would like to show you how to create a drop-down list in Excel. So you might have seen these on files that you've used before and wondered how to be able to create them. They're actually much simpler than you think. Now, using a drop-down list in your data has a couple of benefits. First one being that it does provide you with a way of getting consistent information entered. It means that your users who are entering data are not going to be entering items that they want to enter, and it provides them with a predefined list. It also helps things like prevent inconsistent spelling or from users entering abbreviations or shorthands for different entries. Now, it also provides a really nice user interface. So if you do have a lot of people entering data or accessing your file, it does make it a little bit simpler to work with as well. So let's go have a look at how we can do this. Now, I'm just in Microsoft Excel at the moment. I do have a little sample file opened here. And what you might notice is that I have only four very short, simple entries here. But I do have some inconsistencies in how some of the data is being entered. The first and foremost one is in my source column here. You can see that I have a variation of either the website listed or an online source. And so I've got online here, but I've also got online form. So again, two different variations. The next one is my course name. So I've got a couple of different names listed here for essentially what I would consider the same course. So again, I'm wanting to get a little bit of consistency in how information is being entered. The other thing about a drop-down is it does also make it a little quicker for you to be able to enter data. So it means you don't have to type the entire word or phrase into the spreadsheet. You can just choose from the list. Or you can even just start typing the value that you want or the entry, and it will find it in the list for you. So it means you don't have to type the whole thing yourself. So what I want to do here is create some drop-down lists for a couple of different columns here. I'm going to apply one for my location column, which is in column A. I'm also going to create one for my source column in column G, and then the same thing for my column H, which is my course name. Now, first and foremost, you do need to set up the actual lists or the entries that you want to have displayed in the dropdown. So those need to be created first. Best practice for this is to create them into a separate worksheet. So I've created a extra worksheet called Sheet 2. And when I click on that, I can open up and I can see that I have my 3 different lists that I'm going to use. Now, the other thing here that you might want to do is put these into alphabetical order. Now, I'm going to highlight these and just sort these quickly. Now, because these are sitting in adjacent columns, I want to make sure that it doesn't assume that my Sydney record is related to the Facebook entry, which is also related to introduction to computers. So I am going to highlight the first column of entries. I want to get all my locations here in Australia into alphabetical order. So once I've done that, I'll click my A to Z button here up on the data tab. And it will ask me, do you want to expand the current selection? And that's purely because it recognizes that there is data in column B and column C, and it wants to know, should all of this be treated as one piece of data or is it separate? And I'm going to say that I want to continue with just the current selection. And then I can choose sort. So now that's in alphabetical order. I could do the same thing with my source list. Again, it knows that there's data to the either side. And then finally with my course name as well. All right, so they're all alphabetically listed now, which will make it a really nice interface on the other side. So I'm going to go back to sheet 1, which has my data in it. And what I'm going to do to start off is highlight column A. So I am going to apply this to the entire column because I want to future-proof this so that it doesn't matter how many more records I add in, I'm going to be given the drop-down menu instead. What we'll do at the end is we'll actually remove the drop-down list for the first couple of rows. So it's not going to be used for row 1, 2, or 3 because they've just got my headings and subheadings in it. So we'll do that at towards the end. All right, so highlight all of column A. We are then going to go to the data tab on the ribbon. And what we're looking for is this group here called the data tools group. Now, the feature we're going to use for this is actually called data validation, and this is where you can choose from a whole bunch of different criterias in terms of what you want to allow to be entered into your spreadsheet. So we're going to go to data validation. You can click the little drop down and it's in the drop down menu as well. Otherwise, click directly on the icon. But I open that up. Now you'll notice at the moment that the location column and in fact the entire spreadsheet is allowing any value to be entered, and I don't want to do that. For column A, I'm going to specify that I want this to be based on a list of options. So I'm going to choose list. Now it wants me to choose a source. Now you could technically type all of the entries in here, but it's much more user-friendly, as I said, to have it in a spreadsheet off of your main worksheet. You don't want it on the main worksheet or it'll just interfere with your data. But I'm just going to go and click onto sheet 2, and then I'm going to highlight all the locations that I would like to have show up in the location drop-down. Now, once I've done that in here, you'll notice that there are 2 extra tabs in here. If you want to, you can add in an input message. And what that is a little message that will appear whenever somebody clicks in column A. It is really good if you're just starting out using data validation and you want to give your users a heads up that there's now a requirement on this particular column. You can put a little title in and then you can put the message. And it can also put in an error alert. So if somebody tries to put in a value other than the ones that you've given in the dropdown, you can have it come up and stop them, and it will give them a message from that as well. So you can again put a little title in, and then you might say in the error message, please choose from the predefined options only. And that will give them a little bit of guidance about why there's an error in the first place. But I'm happy. I'm just going to go with the source data, and then I'm going to click OK. Now, if you click inside column A, you'll now see a little drop down will appear with all of the different options. Now, if I know what the options are and I'm data entering, for instance, I can just start typing the value that I'm trying to put in. So if I start trying to type Sydney, it does come up from the list. So it's not like I have to choose and use the drop down every single time, but now it's going to be available throughout that entire first column. Now I want to repeat that for my last 2 remaining columns. So I'm going to go to column G and highlight the entire thing again. And then I'm going to go to data validation. All right, once we've got the data validation open, again, we're going to go to the allow box, click the drop down and choose that we want to use a list. I'm going to click into the source field and now go to my sheet 2. And I'm going to highlight the source options from there. Again, you can choose to put an input message on it and also the error alert, but I'm just going to go ahead and click OK. And now again, you're going to see that I can go in, click the drop down and choose from the list. If I know the value I want to use, then I can just type it in and continue on entering the data. So I'm going to repeat that lastly for my last course name column. So again, change it to list, choose the source, and click OK. And again, now I've got the little source drop down. So I can go in here, choose Excel introduction from my list. Now, what happens if you have got your entries in here and you need to edit them? Maybe you realize that you've made a typing mistake. Maybe you need to change out one and replace it with something else. That's no problems. You can directly edit the entries in your lists just by accessing the source list itself. So if I go into sheet 2, I can go in here and I can edit any of these entries, and that update will automatically show straight away into my drop-down menu. All right, so I can edit this one. I might change this one to be the Microsoft Outlook Introduction course. And if I go back to my list now, I can go in here, click the drop down, and you can see now it says it's Outlook instead of Teams. All right, so very easy to be able to edit that. What about if you wanted to add more entries? Like, obviously I've got a couple of course names in there. I train a lot more than just these few here. So what about if I want to extend this out and include all of the other courses? Well, we can do that easily as well. But what we do need to do here is edit the source location, because at the moment we're only pointing to the cells that have the existing courses listed in it. So to go back, I'm going to click on and highlight column H. I'm going to go back up to my data validation button again, and it will just bring up the settings and tell you where this is actually getting the source data from. So I can click into this source field and it will take me to the location. And what I'm going to do here is I can just backspace that out. and now highlight again. And what I might do is include 2 or 3 extras in that list. I can click OK. Now, if I go back to my sheet, I'm going to add those extra courses in. So I'm going to go Microsoft Outlook, and this one's going to be the advanced class, and then I might add the Teams one back in as well. And now if I go back into my drop down, now I have those 2 extra courses. Now you can see I actually have 1 extra I can put in. There's a blank one in there. So then I'll go in here and I'll go Microsoft SharePoint Introduction. No problems. Go back again, and now you can see the blank one is now filled in. So very easy to be able to go in and edit the existing ones that you've already set up and add more to them if you need to. Now, what if you want to allow people to be able to add in additional entries that are not in your list? Because at the moment, if we type in a course name that is not in the list, or we type in any other value that we will not find in our original source list, we will get an error message. So for instance, if I go into source and I put in a source as a referral, I get an error because referral is not one of the options that I had in the original dropdown. But you might want to give a little bit more flexibility and allow your users to be able to enter these additional settings. So what you have to do here is you need to go in and turn off the error alert. All right, so what I can do is highlight the column, go into my data validation, and in error alert, I can tell it to not show me an error when an invalid a bit of data is entered. All right, so then I can click OK. I can go in and now type in referral. That allows me to put it in. It doesn't become an option in the list, but it will allow me essentially to add in those additional settings that maybe are not already in there. Now, lastly, how can you delete a drop-down list from a cell, a column, or a row where you maybe don't need it? Now, prime example is that when we applied these data validations, we applied it to the entire column. So even columns with the data validation in it that are in row 1, 2, or 3, they're showing the drop-downs, and I really don't need them up there. They're the subheadings and the heading areas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of this data validation off these first 3 rows, just to kind of clean up the interface and make it look a little bit neater. So I'm going to highlight all of row 1, 2, and 3. And obviously, if you just wanted to remove these from individual cells, you would just highlight the individual cells that they're going to apply to. But from that, I'm going to go to my data validation button. And what you'll find is it will come up and tell you that there is essentially more than one type of validation. So it's a mixed area of different validation options. And it gives you the option to erase the current settings. So I'm going to click OK. And that will essentially allow me then to go back into data validation, and you'll see everything is now set to any value, which I can click OK on. And now in those lists where normally there is a drop down, now in the heading and row 1 and 2, I don't have that problem where it's popping up with the drop down still. Right, so that's removed them from that area for me. So that's a few simple steps to be able to use a drop-down list in Excel. Go ahead and give this a try in your own data. If you do have any questions, please pop them below. I'm happy to answer them. Don't forget to like this video if you found this useful. And if you're interested in seeing more of my content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, have a great day, everyone.